Hello, everyone. There are probably moments from your life that you're still ashamed of, right? If so, today's video will make you feel better, because the people in this selection have not only embarrassed themselves in public, but they've become famous all over the internet. They fall down ungraciously, freak out really loudly, and fail all kinds of challenges. Beware, you may get a concussion from so many facepalms. Let's get it on! You know what's gonna happen, don't you? We bet you do. The girl on the left flew off somewhere into space. When will people realize that taking pictures with waves like this is almost always a bad idea? Many of us could use a little less self-doubt. Still, it's important not to be overconfident or you'll get into trouble. Like this guy, he didn't seem afraid to take the leap. That's a shame. He was so close. This girl is very lucky. Her boyfriend is willing to help her with her Instagram content while she's on vacation, and he doesn't complain at all. He even offers his own ideas. Honey, jump off that tree and I'll get an action shot. Who knew it would all end up like this? But now she's got a viral video, which is much more interesting than just an Instagram pic. When you really want to look cool but haven't managed to lose weight in time for summer. Well, this man is far from being like Spider-Man, but maybe he can play Aquaman? Did you know that the Pom is the most fashion-savvy of all dog breeds? If not, how else can you explain why this fella was so upset with the wedding dress? Apparently, it didn't like the style, although it may have been the other way around and it loved it. So, a tip for all girls, don't wear short skirts on a plane, or more precisely, on a plane that is going to perform a zero-gravity maneuver. You could end up in a situation like this.
Oh, shit!
For this stunt, the pilots deflect the steering wheel as they climb and the plane begins to move in an arc. And the passengers inside, if they don't have their belts fastened, fly around the cabin. Imagine you're at a game of your favorite basketball team, right in the front row, and then during a brief pause, you're approached by the coolest player on the club. Sounds like a dream to you? Well, unless it's Blake Griffin, who isn't very good at controlling his hands. Funny thing is, the athlete never realized what happened.
Griffin just dumps water on a fan inadvertently.
This guy's not afraid of anything. Tanks, fighters, flamethrowers, nothing scares him. He's a tough soldier. But when a giant tarantula crawled into his tent, his military demeanor was gone. Well, we all have our weaknesses. A successful prank should look like this. Rumor has it that these guys are still laughing and the party never started. What's the worst thing in a cat's life? Of course, making a fool of itself in front of others. If you show this video to your cat, it'll have nightmares for 2 months. This poor creature was so ashamed of itself that it hurried back to its room to avoid talking to any witnesses to its failure. Anyway, here's a piece of advice for the future. Don't try to catch squid and cuttlefish with a fishing rod.
Show us. Put it in the water.
Bro, that's not...
Oh! Yeah!
Otherwise, you'll end up like these guys. What? Did you think they only have ink for dyeing Italian pasta? No, they know how to defend themselves. Do you know what a perfect strike is? This guy's gonna show you.
Oh. Mama!
Yes, at the crucial moment, the poor fellow can't help it and shoots his controller straight at the screen. You may be laughing now, but anyone could end up in his place. Here's a video of our favorite failed TikTok challenge. In case you don't remember, the trick involves grabbing a beer can after it bounces off a basketball and drinking the contents on camera. Well, this girl won't need a drink after that. We suspect that the person who recorded this video knew something when she asked her friend to step on the ice. Of course she did. Look, it's so thin. What can we say? It wasn't a good walk, but it ended up being a nice, invigorating swim. When you live in Russia, you have to be on guard at all times. For example, when trying to get out of a car in winter, maybe he should have put on skis or skates and there would have been no problems. What could go wrong here? It's so beautiful, like a music video. But dogs always find ways to surprise their owners. This time, they were very interested in the sky lantern. She shouldn't have waved it under their noses. This girl really wanted to turn around gracefully, but unfortunately, trays with magnetic glasses have not yet been invented. It's a pity. This is what happens when a volleyball player plays bowling for the first time. Actually, the guy just invented a new kind of strike. We just didn't know it. Apparently, this dog didn't pay attention to the size of the stick when picking it up. Hey, why's the door stopped working? This is what happens when two friends go to a car wash together. No, we're not talking about the dance in the parking lot. We're talking about what happened next. And how one of the girls can't stop laughing instead of helping the other. Classic, right? We'd like to see the poor girl explaining this huge hickey to her partner. This cat had never seen so much snow in his life, and neither had his owners. So the next morning after the winter apocalypse, they decided to take the poor cat out for a walk when suddenly, oops, it's unlikely the poor creature will ever go out in the snow again. Some people say that Jack and Rose could have fit on the door. Well, now we know what the problem was. What if the relationship of DiCaprio's character with the board was something like that?
That was pretty good.
Oh my god.
Kaylee, stop! Kaylee, help him! Damn it, Kaylee!
Oh my god.
In that case, nothing would have saved him. What could be worse than a situation where you want to high-five someone and that person doesn't realize it? It's awful, but we should all learn from LeBron James. When his teammate didn't return his high-five, he simply high-fived himself. And then many other people stepped up. So only inattentive Dwight Howard made a fool of himself in this story. Do you think being a cat parent is easy? Yeah, right. One day your kitty will come to you with a pierced nose and say, "Mom, you don't get it, it's fashion." At least in this case, the piercing is really easy to remove and no, there won't be any scars left. This is a first world problem. They got on a private jet to go to a luxury island and forgot to close the trunk. By the way, you'd be surprised, but the unfortunate bag ended up fine. It arrived safely to its destination, just caught a draft. Sometimes dogs behave like children. This white husky was so excited watching the birds while walking that he didn't realize how this happened.
Oh my god. I got you.
The funny thing is that according to the owner, this is not the first time this has happened. The poor dog obviously doesn't learn from its mistakes.